Hello, everyone. Josh here. Welcome to another episode of the Ignite podcast. Today, team, I'm really keen to unpack with you how to run strategic business meetings. So let's get into it. So I guess, team, context for today's discussion, we've just come off a bunch of boardroom conversations with members. And if it's happening for our members, it's obviously happening for you as well. In terms of, as business owners, always getting pulled into the day-to-day running of your business and never creating the time or feeling like you never have the time to focus on the big picture aspects of your business that I know logically that you know are going to help you grow your business, but you always seem to keep getting pulled into the weeds. And so one of the big things that I get asked all the time is like, how do we find the time, firstly, for these big picture strategic meetings? But secondly, like, what do we talk about? Like, what do we do? Like, what are the things that we should focus on in these big picture strategic meetings? So don't worry, if you've got those questions, we're going to answer all of them in today's podcast episode. So let's dive in. Hey, first things first, let's talk about why this is important. I mean, logically, we all know this, right? But let's kind of go through the pros and the cons and like the benefits of doing this. So you're a business owner. You are probably wearing a whole bunch of different hats in your business and running around doing sales, marketing, leadership, invoicing, client acquisition, dealing with grumpy clients, HR, admin, filing your emails, all those sorts of things. And like the business as usual, day-to-day tasks tend to always take priority over blocking out time in your calendar and actually committing to that time in your calendar for these big picture strategic thinking meetings. And if you're thinking, I don't have time for that, we're going to go into that in a second. And I'm also going to talk to you a little bit later on in the episode about the cadence that you should be adopting in terms of the difference between like big picture strategic meetings versus like operational meetings and that sort of thing. So let's come back to the main thing. Let's keep the main thing, which is the benefits. So if you continue to be the type of business owner that puts out fires all the time, running around like a headless chook, doing all the admin and the day-to-day things in your business and like just kind of putting out fires here, putting out fires there, like answering your team requests here, grumpy client calls and you got to hop to it sort of thing, then you're building a business that's rudderless. Like you're just kind of starting, you're doing things, you turn up, you open up your email inbox, a whole bunch of people want stuff from you, you do all that stuff, you go to a bunch of meetings, you do a whole bunch of things throughout the day, you get to the end of the day, the week, and you're like, I'm actually not sure what I've achieved this week. I just don't feel like I've actually pushed things forward. I feel like I've kind of just been treading water all week. And so if you continue to allow yourself to be dictated to in terms of other people's priorities, and I use this as a metaphor, this topic with our clients all the time, like if you're constantly running your days from your email inbox, you are running your business from other people's priorities. You think about emails that come into your inbox. They are clients' priorities that they want you to do. They are team priorities that they want you to do certain things. So if you are running your business and your days and your weeks from your email inbox or your phone and phone calls, then you are running your business at the whim of other people's priorities. So if we're not making the time to stop, to pause, to step back and go, what do I want to create? What's the business that I want? What does our org chart look like in 12 to 24 months time? Where's that next strategic position, or what's that next strategic hire that we're doing? What's our market that we're exposed to at the moment doing over the next 12, 24 months, 5 years time? Do I think that's going to continue to provide us the opportunities to grow my business and hit my revenue targets? Or should I look to diversify or get into a different market? If you're not creating the time to have those conversations with yourself or, your business partners, again, I see this happen time and time again. You'll pop your head up in 5 or 10 years time and you'll be like, what have I built? Like, what is this business? Like, it's probably built around me. It requires me to do everything. How did I not see that turn in the market coming? What have I done? Those kinds of things. So if we're not taking the time to lock out strategic time in our calendar and actually do it, I was talking to some business owners yesterday, and they're like, oh yeah, it's been in my calendar for a while. We just We keep getting distracted and we never have those catch-ups between the directors. And I'm like, just entertain me. Do it for a couple of weeks, or do it for a couple of months, sorry, and just come back to me and let me know how you went. And I was just chatting to them this week, and they were like, oh my gosh, like we've had 2 strategic director meetings now, and we are so much clearer on where we're going. And we know we feel clear and settled, and these meetings are great, and we're going to keep doing them. And I'm like, awesome, the system works. But until you start to do it, you're going to continue to run a really, really reactive business, subject to other people's whims and other people's demands. So I guess that's why it's important. Like these strategic business meetings that you're having with yourself as a sole business owner or with other directors in your business are so important. And it's because we don't place the importance on it or see the benefit of it that we let them go by the wayside, because we're running a business that's reactive, not proactive. And we see that hour or 2 hours or 3 hours that's blocked out in the calendar for a strategic meeting or strategic business time as a waste of time. I've got too much other stuff to do. I don't have time to think about the future of my business. And I hear that time and time again, and I see it in the people that commit that time to big picture stuff are the ones that actually build the businesses that they want, as opposed to building a business based on other people's priorities. So that's why this is important, team. Like it is so important. And I'm not talking, and I'll talk about cadence in a second. I am not talking about hours and hours and hours here. Like there is only so much big picture strategic thinking you can do. It's more about the cadence and doing it regularly, and then the little actions that you take in between those meetings that keep those big picture things moving forward. They're going to make the biggest difference in your business. So let's talk about frequency and cadence now, and let's talk about what do you actually think about or talk about or discuss in these meetings. Cadence. And let's go back a step. Let's discern the difference. You've got strategic meetings, which could be like a board meeting or something similar. And then you've got operations meetings, which could be like management meetings and that sort of stuff. Strategic meetings are big picture. Like, where are we going? Where's the market going? Who do we want to hire next? Where's the next, like, mergers and acquisitions? Where's the next acquisition coming from? That's big picture stuff. Management operations is timesheets. That person's being really annoying. We need to deal with that issue. We've got a client challenge that we've got to navigate. We've got some overruns on projects that we've got to deal with. That's all operational and management stuff. So in terms of cadence, strategic meetings, monthly, like at least once a month, at the most once a quarter, to be catching up and just kind of reviewing your strategic plan. Where are we going? All that sort of thing. Management meetings should be weekly. So management meetings, ops meetings should be keeping your finger on the pulse of the business so that like debtors days don't blow out, project budgets don't blow out, overruns don't happen, those sorts of things. Team are on top of like deliverables and that sort of thing. So operational or management style meetings should be weekly to keep your finger on the pulse of the business and make good, quick, rapid decisions. Strategic meetings, once a month ideally, but once a quarter is going to be okay too. So they're kind of the cadence. What do you talk about in these meetings? Kind of gone through it, but I'll kind of step it out for you now. Strategic meetings. It is all big picture stuff, and you have to hold yourself accountable. I see so many businesses and business owners, they tell me, oh, we have strategic meetings once a month. I'm like, okay, cool. What do you talk about? We talk about like invoicing and debtors days and annoying clients and annoying team and all that sort of stuff. I'm like, that's a management meeting. You're not talking about that in a strategic meeting. Strategic meetings are big picture. Where's the business going to be in 5 years? Where do we see things? Where's the market going to play out? Who are the big emerging players? Who are the clients that we want to start to associate ourselves with? Do we see a turn in the market happening? Is there something that's expanding or happening, or we want to be on the forefront of that? Mergers and acquisitions, like do we want to get into a different state in the country? Like, how are we going to do that? Next gen shareholding, the director's retirement, all those sorts of things. Like, who's going to take over the reins of the business? Who are we offering shares to? All of that stuff is big picture strategic thinking. So it's like long on the horizon, and you're using those meetings just to slightly reorientate yourself to make sure that you're driving a business to an outcome that you want to create. So they're the big picture strategic, I guess, action items or agenda items. We've built out a full agenda for our boardroom clients in terms of what to do, what to follow in strategic meetings, and what to do and what to follow in ops meetings. But ops meetings are all just the day-to-day. So debtors days, deliverables, deadlines, HR, marketing, culture, dollars, a whole bunch of other bits and pieces. So if you think about management and ops meetings being the day-to-day, like the running of the business, and management being big picture steering the ship, you won't go too far wrong. So team, look, I hope that helps. Like this is how, like, this is the why, this is the structure of those big picture strategic meetings. And I guess it's just so important that you do it. If you ever feel like if you ever hear yourself saying, I'm just going to skip that, or it's not a good use of my time, I want you to catch yourself and going, this is absolutely the best use of my time, because this is the time that I get to focus on the direction and growth of my business and building something that I love and that I want to create. And I don't want to wake up in 10 years' time and have built something that I hate and despise and want to get out of. So team, I hope that helps. Any questions, hit me up and let me know. Finally, if you want to keep doing the business owner journey on your own, love it. We have heaps of resources to help you in terms of the podcast, YouTube channel, website, you name it, it's kind of there in terms of resources to help you build your business. But if you want to get some help, if you'd love to get some help from us, we run a program called Boardroom where we help engineering, town planning, surveying and architecture businesses build and grow their consultancies with confidence. Follow the link below this episode. There'll be a link to booking what's called a business audit call. Love to have a chat to you about your business, unpack it, have a look at where it is and where it can go, and take it from there. Thanks. Have an amazing day.